Elon Musk, the Tony Stark Iron Man of this video game simulation. I heard that Iron Man did have a sidekick called Aluminum Man. Iron Man stops the villains and Aluminum Man just foils their plans. But does Elon Musk talk about any cheat codes that we can apply to our own lives to win at this video game we call life? Well, yes, he does. So get your controller ready to plug in the cheat codes. Disclaimer, just like in a video game, when you put your cheat codes in, it gives you, say, a flying car. It allows you to complete missions with that flying car. But it's still up to you to complete the mission. A flying car just makes it easier. What I'm saying is, this still involves work. It'd be good if Elon Musk would get around to inventing flying cars though, wouldn't it? Be like living in the Jetsons.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Just by persisting alone, you can outstay everyone else. You see, just by keeping on, you will surpass all the other people in your field in time. What puts most people off is when it gets hard, they think, well, repeating things over and over is a kind of madness, to use the quote. And it is. There is a certain art in knowing when to quit. But sometimes you just need to know when to quit. For instance, I quit my job in the helium factory because I refused to be spoken to in that tone. Ask any painter. They never truly know when the painting is finished. Add a little bit more in the corner. People today are soft. They flit around from one thing to the other. Concentrate on one thing at a time, and I mean one thing, till that thing is fully mined and you've got a team of people running that gold mine for you. That's your cash cow that allows you to explore other areas. Look at Elon. He started PayPal, sold it, moved on. He bought Tesla and got that up to a great standard before putting his attention onto space travel. Now he owns a rocket that looks like a massive penis. Oh no, wait, that's Bezos.
Really liking what you do, whatever area that you get into, given that, you know, even if you're the best, there's always a chance of failure. So I think it's important that you really like whatever you're doing. If you don't like it, life is too short. You know, I'd say, also if you like what you're doing, you think about it even when you're not working. I mean, it's something that your mind is drawn to, and if you don't like it, you just really can't make it work, I think.
Following on from the point above, if you don't know what you're doing, then it will feel like a grind. It's like that old joke. You know what really grinds my gears? Not using the clutch. But seriously, if I didn't enjoy making these YouTube videos, I'd have quit ages ago. I've tried loads of things, but it takes time to get things off the ground. You can't just throw an idea into the wind and expect it to fly. It's like the old adage. If you like what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. If you start a business purely for the money, and you don't actually like it, then by all means give up. Because there's no point in doing something you don't like doing just for the money that you're going to get to keep yourself carrying on living. That is itself a kind of madness. Elon gives us the answer. To find out if you really like what you're doing, this is how you tell. Do you think about the thing you're doing even when you're not doing it? If not, then it might be an idea to change. What makes you the most scared? Go do that. But I don't like anything, you say. Well, there's an easy way to find new things that you might like doing. You book into lots of clubs. Archery, book club, film club, football club. Try loads of new hobbies. And try all manner of things until you find the thing that you most chime with. Everyone has a thing. You just got to find it. That reminds me of the time I got invited to the archery champions ball. I had to pull a few strings to get into that.
So many people tried to talk me out of starting a rocket company. It was crazy. One good friend of mine collected a whole series of videos of rockets blowing up and made me watch those. He just didn't want me to lose all my money. We're doing these things that seem unlikely to succeed, and we've been fortunate, and at least thus far they have succeeded.
Did you hear that? Many things that you undertake, if in the world of business, or anything really, is unlikely to succeed. The odds are firmly against you. It's more unlikely than Leicester City winning the Premier League, because the odds on that were 5,000 to 1, and yet they still did it. The odds of me making this YouTube channel successful are staggeringly against me. It's like winning the lottery. The odds of Elon Musk getting to Mars are bloody ridiculous. Yet he still persists because of cheat code 1. This cheat code is about ignoring people that try and put you off what you want to do. Say you want to start a business. Yes, it's unlikely to succeed. If you really like it, then do it. Parents, friends, teachers and people around you may try to talk you out of it. Now, this is not to say you should disregard their advice. The cheat code here is to take advice from people who are already more successful than you. If a tramp on the street offered you some advice, the only advice worth hearing would be about which bin to go and scrounge some free food out of. Also, only take advice from people about the business that you want to start, from people that have done that business. No good taking advice from someone about a new clothes business that you want to start, from a friend who has never owned a clothes business. Thus, you should aim for a mentor in the realm that you want to pursue, to help guide you, one who is already more successful than you in the realm you wish to enter.
Anyway, so that's, and then I think that the final thing I would encourage you to do is, now is the time to take risk. You don't have, you don't have you don't have kids, your obligation. Well, sorry. Probably don't have kids. But as you get older, your obligations increase. So and once you have a family, you start taking risk not just for yourself but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. So now is the time to do that before you have those obligations. So I would encourage you to take risks now. Do something bold. You won't regret it.
Obligations increase the older we get. We get partners, we have children, more work, responsibilities. I deliberately withheld from jobs, quitting if they asked me to do too much, because my mind was usually elsewhere. Writing a sitcom in my mind, or some jokes, or funny lines that I wanted to perform. Taking on more work responsibilities would have ended those thoughts, and I'd have been a slave to the system. So if you're in your 20s, there's good news. You are in the perfect place to take risks, because you have very little obligations. If you have a kid, you have to provide for it, which I just couldn't do. If you are promoted at work, this might seem like a good thing, but how many extra obligations are they going to give you? Will those things take away from the business or thing that you want to build? Probably yes. Also, be really prepared for things not working out. Don't go into any venture thinking it's going to be easy, because it likely won't. Trying to make a business work is like walking through 7 layers of hell and back again. Trust me, I've tried it numerous times. There's more rejection than walking into a changing room of Victoria's Secret models and asking them all out for a drink. There's more late nights than an Amsterdam hooker. There's more red tape than a Los Angeles police department. What I'm saying is, be bloody prepared for a mental, physical battle. But take the risk. For some of you, a small fraction perhaps will succeed, and it'll be the best thing you ever did.
Then I'd say focus on signal over noise. A lot of companies get confused. They spend money on things that don't actually make the product better. So, for example, at Tesla, we've never spent any money on advertising. We put all of the money into R&D and manufacturing and design to try to make the car as good as possible. I think that's the way to go. So for any given company, just can keep thinking about, are these efforts that people are expending, are they resulting in a better product or service? And if they're not, stop those efforts.
The next two cheat codes kind of lead into each other. As Elon states, Tesla has never spent a penny on advertising. Can you believe that? It's one of the most sought after new car companies on the market, and it has never even advertised. He lets the product do the talking. Let me use myself as an example. I could run around posting links to my Instagram and my Facebook, have meetings with people about how better to run my YouTube channel, and all of those other things that make you feel very busy. Or I could use that time just to make more and better videos. Look at most of the stuff on YouTube. It's just someone sat in front of a camera. It's ruddy boring. They do nothing to keep you watching. So, by focusing on the videos, I let them do the talking. Is what I'm doing resulting in better videos? If it's not, I stop doing it. Would posting a link to a video onto my Instagram feed result in better videos? No. Would spending time and effort making clickbait titles? Probably not, right? The only thing that improves my videos is making the videos. That includes the writing, the research and development, which is watching other videos on the same subject, reading the books, researching how to edit better, adding the right music, finding the right music, and all of these things that make an all-round better video.
I would just urge people to say, like, hey, step back a second and say, is your product as awesome as it could be? Probably not. What could you do to make it great? If people like to think about innovation, like maybe it has to be like breakthrough innovation. I don't think it necessarily has to be breakthrough innovation. It's just like, just make your product better. This is the thing that really matters.
What can you do to make it better? Elon says this over and over again, and it is similar to the cheat code before. But he hammers this point in over and over like an angry pimp. Just let your product, which could be your business, your book, your videos, make them the best that they can be. Let the product do the talking. That's why it doesn't need to advertise Tesla cars. The product does the talking. If you're starting a business or a YouTube channel, for example, you could spend a lot of time researching and doing what I call shallow work. It's the stuff that makes you feel busy, but it's not actually productive work. Find out with your business or thing what is the one thing that you need to do that is most important, then just keep doing that. For me, it's making videos. It's not researching the best gear, the best lens, the best tripods, all of that stuff, or having meetings and planning things. It's making the thing. If you're competing against other well-established companies, see Elon going up against entrenched, well-established car companies, then you need to have something bloody incredible to go up against them. For example, with me, the other videos on the simulation theory on YouTube tend to be quite boring. a bit sciencey, and not particularly engaging. Just like with Tesla, they looked at cars and said, well, if electric cars are going to replace gas cars, we need to make them sweet as f. So they need to look hot, they need to be fast, and they need to have a massive iPad in the middle of the dash. They're desirable. And if you drive one, you can lord it over everyone else. That you're saving the planet, being more smug than Lord Smug Spuggington of Smughamptonshire.
There's a friend of mine who's got a great saying about creating a company, which is trying to build a company and have it succeed is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. So, I mean, what tends to happen is it's sort of quite exciting for the first several months of starting a company, and then reality sets in. Things don't go as well as planned. Customers aren't signing up. The technology or the product isn't working as well as you thought. And then that can sometimes be compounded by a recession, and it can be very, very painful for several years. So I think, frankly, starting a company, I would advise people to have a high pain tolerance.
A high pain tolerance is bloody necessary because, as we've already established, the odds are firmly bloody against you. I have some cheat codes for you. The first one would be this. Whatever age you are, doesn't really matter, go and get a sales job if you've never had. For about a year, I worked as a commission-only salesman selling blinds and shutters for windows. I was about 25 years old at the time, and I'd drive around the local area in Essex, going to people's houses for appointments and showing them the blinds or shutters and giving them a quote for their window. Because they were so expensive, it was usually a no, but 1 in every 8 or 9 appointments, I would get the sale. So that's a lot of rejection. Sometimes it could be a week or two between sales, and this role was commission only. There was no wage, so I had to sell to pay the rent. But what this lesson gave me was invaluable. It was that rejection is not personal, it's a fact of life. So if you think you're a bit soft, go and get a sales job. It will bloody toughen you up. Expect rejection, embrace rejection, because then you'll stop being scared of it. Develop a high pain tolerance, because in this world, you're gonna need it. Now, for some of these cheat codes, they're not what you want. The word cheat surmises the feeling of hacking something and making it easy. And in that sense, these cheat codes do that. You're learning things that most people never do or will. They have no desire to learn, so you're already ahead of the rest of the pack. You may not even realise that you're using these cheat codes as they sink further into your subconscious. A year down the line, maybe you've started this business and it's not working out, so you go to give up, and then you remember cheat code number 1, never give up. Because winners don't quit! Oh, and watch this video next.